How the narcissist invades you. In a way, we come like an alien invasion, although one which is unseen to you. This activity is undertaken in an unconscious manner by the lesser or mid-range narcissist. It is done with conscious calculation by the greater or the ultra-narcissist. It is necessary for us to invade you in order to take control of you, and then, like some arriving alien invasion, take your resources and utilize them for ourselves. Your fuel, your character traits, and the residual benefits, whether that is your home, your money, your connections, the use of a facade, the provision of physically satisfying sex, and a whole host of other aspects. We ensure that through our enthralling enchantment of you during seduction, that we create a form of tunnel vision for you. We become all that you see. Not only is it the case that it is our mission to spend every moment we can with you in order to control you, in order to obtain the prime aims, but we need to ensure that we are all that is seen in your mind's eye as well. If we are not physically present with you, then we need to have done sufficient during the course of the day, during the course of our interaction with you so far, to have you thinking about us repeatedly. When will we call? That was such a delightful message that was sent earlier. Where will he take me tonight? He makes me so happy. I'm so lucky. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. We need to be the only person in your sights. We want your friendships to fall by the wayside so that they do not distract you from your role in providing to us. We want to ensure that you don't see family as often, and even begin to neglect your interests, possibly even work, in order to spend time with us, to spend time on the telephone, in a video call, whatever it may be. We want to cause you to look upon us all of the time, because the love and radiance you see, which of course is just being mirrored back at you, is so magnetic, so compelling and utterly addictive. You will end up stretching that lunch hour from work to spend longer over lunch with us. You will cancel that gym class tonight so that you can see us rather than wait another day. You will end up cutting short drinks with friends so that you can get across to our house, so you at least have part of the evening seeing us. All you end up is seeing us, and you will see how good, wonderful, amazing, and brilliant it is as we carefully apply that rose-tinted filter across your eyes, and you will not even notice what is happening. And even if you happen to do so, you will not care nor mind, because it feels so good. Even where we have disengaged from you, or in instances where you have been able to escape, our construction of ever-presence arising from this invasion will result in you seeing us everywhere around you. It is necessary for us to invade all of your senses, all aspects of your life, so that you see, hear, taste, feel, experience, acknowledge all aspects of us, that you have that near constant reminder in what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, and what you touch. All of those 5 senses invaded by our presence, caused by the initial invasion when we entered your life and monopolized your time. Any individual who monopolizes your time is providing you with an indicator with regard to the possibility that you're dealing with a narcissist. That desire to be with you as much as possible, to cause you to feel that you want to be with us as much as possible, is part of that invasion. We want you seeing our ghost at the window, where we would once upon a time stand, looking at the view as we waited for you to get ready before going out. We want you remembering seeing us lying on the bed, patting it, and inviting you in for another ecstatic session of lovemaking. We want you seeing us across from you at the dinner table, walking up the driveway, and in that usual seat on the tube, which is where we first met. You pick up a book and recall seeing us reading it, asking your thoughts about the novel. You pick up a jumper, and it is blue, the purportedly favourite colour of the narcissist, and we are in your mind once again. We infect anything and everything around you to ensure that we are seen everywhere that you look. Even closing your eyes is no escape, for then, perhaps more than anywhere else, you will then still see our image pin-sharp and evident. We need to ensure that ours is the only voice that you ever hear. Not only do you feel that tingling sensation when we whisper in your ear and tell you rude things down the telephone, or read that particular piece of poetry that you love, all acts which are inherently designed to have you respond automatically to the sound of our voices. We are ensuring that we are blocking out the sounds from any other competitors or detractors. During seduction, we only want you hearing our voice. This has two effects. Firstly, you are listening to my propaganda all of the time, and with no dissenting voices able to get through to you, you then accept what I say and do quickly. Secondly, I am causing, through repeated reinforcement, for you to feed your addiction to the narcissist through listening to the sound of my voice. You end up associate hearing me speak, and especially saying your name, with something that is wonderful, and this increases the potency of your addiction to the narcissist. We will use music especially to create so many links between you and us. Each special moment that we share should have its own particular soundtrack. The first meeting, the first time we gave you a lift in the car, the first time we took you to bed, the first meal that we cooked for you and the first time that you cooked for us, the time that we sat and watched a storm together holding hands. Music plays a huge part in assailing your sense of hearing and creating powerful connections between the beautiful things that we once did together and certain pieces of music. We will ensure that our relationship has catchphrases, so that when you watch an advertisement, you hear my voice saying the same sentence as I once did when we were together. Every time there was a knock at the front door, I said the same thing and it made you laugh no matter how many times you had heard it. Now, when there is a knock, even though I have gone, you end up still hearing my voice. The ghost lives on. No matter how hard you try to evade hearing my voice or hearing the sounds that are inextricably linked to many moments in the relationship that we had, you will continue to be assailed by them, even when I am no longer stood beside you or in a relationship with you. We apply our scent like some beast marking its territory, ensuring that during the seduction certain smells, my fragrance, my aftershave, my antiperspirant, my shower gel, the washing powder that I use, the air freshener in my house, are all direct links to me. The olfactory connection that I establish is a unique code between you and me. For each relationship, I create a different set of fragrances, so there is not just one reminder of me, but 6. I smell so good, and I reinforce this by allowing you to keep a shirt of mine imbued with my scent when I am away, so that you can sniff it as you lie in bed. At the time, it seemed like such a delightful gesture of mine, something that you have to remind me of you. Remind you of me when I am on a business trip, but I am feeding your addiction to me through the sense of smell, and because it is me that has done it, this is a calculated act that is designed to find you unable to smell sandalwood in the future without thinking instantly of me. Where this is done by a lesser or mid-range narcissist, this is a collateral consequence. You will end up associating so many smells with the narcissist, from personal fragrances to the smell of the house, the interior of the car, the meals that we take together, and so forth. It is all part of the narcissism's design to ensure that you make the connection between the wonderful and that fragrance during the seduction, so that you cannot do anything but remember those golden moments when you happen to smell a particular scent at a later stage. Smell being the most powerful evoker of memory. And that memory leads you to us. You feed your addiction. You suffer the adverse consequence. You may be moved then to contact us, to breach your no contact even further. We will use taste to create yet more fantastic bonds between us, as the after effects of our invasion of you live on long after we have departed. We will encourage you to try different foods, different dishes at restaurants that you will enjoy. We will introduce a signature drink to you, something that you have not had before, so that you really enjoy it and immediately associate its tangy taste with us. You will recognize and become swept away by the taste of our kisses, a wonderful and mesmerizing taste which sends you into sensory overload, making you tremble with anticipation. We ensure that certain tastes will be linked to those wonderful moments and memories. You are not that special, however, as these tasting techniques will have been used with others and will be used with others again. We will cause you to crave our touch and want to touch us. The times you felt the stubble on my face with your hand or against your cheek as I gently kissed you as you dozed. You delighted in the sensation of that defined chest as your hand brushed across it. The times that you would always allow your palm to stroke my newly shorn hair, the short and soft hairs gracing your hand. How you felt so safe when you felt my arms around you at night, because you told me. And when I took your hand in mine, telling you without saying anything that everything would be all right. You admitted those things to me. I logged them and used them. How you now miss my expert ministrations, as my tender fingers once probed and caressed, finding all the right places, creating another scintillating experience that now, with my departure, you still yearn for. Making love to yourself with your own hand just isn't the same. The way that I placed my hands upon your shoulders when I returned from work and approached you from behind, the reassurance that you felt, the familiarity and strength flowing from me to you, as you sat down and you tilted your head against my arm and my fingers began to massage your shoulders. The way I used to wipe the tears from your eyes with my mouth, the delicate application of my lips soothing and absorbing the source of your woe, the times that I would tickle you until you could not breathe, but the delight soared inside of you. How you now miss that touch and being touched by us. We fill up your senses from our invasion of you so that we become your universe. We fill up your senses so that even through the numbness that we may leave you with, you crave seeing us, smelling us, hearing us, touching us, and tasting us. This all results in the feeding of your addiction, the increase of your emotional thinking, and all of these things are breaches of your no-contact regime. So many people do not realize that that is the case. They think that still wanting those things, still remembering them in bittersweet memories, they do not realize that that is a breach of no contact and must be resisted. The ever-presence that has been created as a consequence of our invasion of you lives on. We have invaded all of your senses too, and you must fight this invasion. It is not acceptable for you to continue to accept this invasion because you are breaching no contact. And so many providers of information do not make this clear. They fail to advise you of this. Why? Because they don't understand the way that we work. They do not understand the conscious, calculated manners by which the greater and the ultra operate. They do not understand the collateral consequence of the instinctive behaviors of the lesser and mid-range narcissist. And this is but one of hundreds of examples of their inability to advise you properly. When we come along, we invade your world. but we do so in a way that feels magical and wonderful and special. And it is done, either consciously or unconsciously, to keep us alive in your minds, so that this can weaken your defences at a later stage. That should we hoover you at a further point, and invariably we do, you are easy to invade once again because your defences have never recovered. Why? Because you have kept your emotional thinking too high by lamenting, reminiscing, remembering, savouring, thinking back. That you might even breach your no contact further, driven by this alarming slicing nature of increasing emotional thinking, so that you then talk about us with other people. You then start to snoop upon our Facebook profiles or our Twitter feed, or to look at what we've been posting on YouTube. That you then decide to contact us, to tell us that you miss us, that you have just remembered something, and you wanted to share that memory with us. And thus you are drawn back in and you do not move forward. We invade you, and this invasion lives on long after we have disengaged from you, or, more rarely, where you have escaped. It makes you vulnerable to our further approaches. You must understand this and take action. What action must you take? You read my book, Exorcism, which explains to you how to purge the narcissist from your life. And you implement total no contact, so that you stay away from all of the arenas of interaction. And then, in so doing, you are able to tackle the fifth arena, thinking about the narcissist, and utilize the final battle, how to stop thinking about the narcissist. The purge, as set out in Exorcism, will remove so many of the reminders that I have described in this video. It will remove the temptations. It will remove the triggers, and thus you will reduce your emotional thinking. And then you will be in a prime position to tackle and succeed through my work, removing us from your thoughts. So that you learn the techniques that mean if you happen to smell something that reminds us of you, you jettison it straight away. That you apply logic to the situation so that you do not bring the thought further to you, that you do not nestle upon it and give it energy. We invade you, and this is done initially to control you and draw upon your resources. But it also serves other consequences, as I've explained in this video. You must understand that and take action accordingly. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.